Thank you to our wonderful Patreons. Because of you, this video was made possible. Heyo, this is Harmonia with Cartoon Universe, and in this video, we're gonna talk about the Queen of Mean herself, Chloe Bourgeois, because Season 3 happened and we need to talk about it many months later. Okay, maybe not we, but more like me, and you guys just listen to me ramble the whole time, so let's go, yeet! Mandatory spoiler warning. Gonna talk about Chloe's development from Season 1 to 3, so if you aren't caught up, you have been warned. To those who are caught up, and those who don't care, let's go dive in. Before we start, how do you like the new look? My feet are still weird, but at least they aren't front and center anymore. And I'm no longer floating in the void, I'm just sitting in the chair now. So Chloe, a bully in Season 1, a neglected child in Season 2, and a bitter ex-superheroine in Season 3. I'm sure you wish that background character you actually liked and cared about got this much subtle development throughout the season outside of their own character-focused episode. Can you tell I'm salty? Since the beginning, Chloe has just been the worst. She makes Hawkmoth look like an actual saint because he's giving power to the people she's wronged for no reason other than pettiness. She has the hallmarks of being the perfect pure evil villain. The many mean and downright evil things she's done has progressed many of the episodic plots and the main plot in Seasons 1 to 3. Personality-wise, she's a spoiled brat who knows how to manipulate situations to get what she wants when her whining goes unheard of. And worst of all is that she's very aware of what she's doing is in fact the wrong thing.
Of course it was me who called the fire department, so what?
And it doesn't bother you that everyone's being punished because of you?
No, why would it?
But despite that, she idolized Ladybug, Paris' #1 superhero, a paragon of all things good and just, everything Chloe is low-key against. But she respected and idolized the hell out of Ladybug after getting rescued in the Origins episode. You know, that bridal save and all that. She even forgave Ladybug even after she was criticized and called a liar, even though she was telling the truth at the time. This is the same Chloe who doesn't even forgive her best friend, Sabrina, who begs for her forgiveness, and Chloe only forgives her after Ladybug asks her to make up with her. Also, Chloe's in love with Adrien. He's a rich, handsome model as well as the son of a prestigious fashion designer. So, yeah, he checks off a lot of her superficial criteria for people she will willingly date. But her father runs an exclusive hotel for famous people, so obviously there's going to be other boys her age she can date that are probably more famous, rich, and influential than Adrien. But they are childhood friends. And Adrien is an absolute sweetheart. He's honest and kind. If Chloe was more shallow than a puddle in a desert, then she would have gone after boys who are more successful than Adrien. Like XYZ, because she's a huge fan of his stupid music, which highlights how shallow she is of a person. But she is quite determined to date Adrien officially, and I guess that's admirable, but this is Chloe we're talking about, so our standards are pretty low with her to begin with. So what have I been trying to say after rambling about the type of people she's most attracted to? She's not that bad of a person in a way. She's in nature inclined to side with good. So why is her personality that of a classic villainess? Simple. It's her parents. They are the type of people who shouldn't have a kid. Her father, Adrien Bourgeois, is the mayor of Paris and owner of a 5-star hotel. He's a corrupt politician because Chloe outright tells us the reason why he manages to keep getting re-elected as mayor.
I've watched how my daddy wins every election, and I'm going to follow in his footsteps. I know just how to win. By having the best campaign? Ha! Whatever. The secret to winning in politics is ruining your opponent's reputation.
And because he owns a 5-star hotel that primarily caters to high-profile guests, you know he's got connections in high places. And as a father, he just spoils the crap out of Chloe because he wants her happy and doesn't want to anger his wife. Speaking of his wife, she is the primary source of all of Chloe's shitty personality traits. As a fashion editor once based in New York, she's a fashion critic, so she complains about everything. She has a good eye for detail and can certainly spot talent when she sees it, but my god, she does not have to complain about every single thing that doesn't reach her utterly ridiculous high standards.
What is this carpet? Is it fabric? Why isn't the red carpet made out of marble like I said?
As a mother, Audrey is even worse.
The only exceptional thing about you, my dear, is your mother. According to me, Chloe just clearly demonstrated that there is nothing exceptional about her.
Why don't you love me, Mom?
But, of course I love you.
She's absent for most of Chloe's life and doesn't even remember her existence half the time, and often gives positive feedback to what people would consider bad behavior. She's teaching her child it's okay to not be a decent human being. Also, the relationship between her parents has been very rocky. First, Audrey has fallen out of love with Andre, so she leaves for New York, but he still has feelings for her and did what he could to please her by making sure Chloe didn't bother her. And when she comes back, he realizes she's shit, so they fight, and on the first anniversary they've had together in years, so they get akumatized. Duh. And after getting akumatized, they fall in love again. And that's one way to fix the relationship. I guess it's cute, in a very psychotic way. But that's not gonna save them from being awful parents, because they are still awful parents. No amount of healthy relationship will change the fact that they are incapable of being good parents. I even think having Chloe was the reason why Audrey left in the first place. Andre wanted a kid and pressures Audrey to have one. And when they have one, she hates it, as raising a kid interferes with her work and she just leaves, so Andre is left to raise Chloe. In short, when two morally questionable people have a kid, their kid will also be just like them. Most of the time. Because children learn by imitating their parents, guardians, whoever they look up to. And since her parents are rich and considered quite successful in life, she thinks that their way of living is correct, and thus imitates all the mean and manipulative things they do. But the people she respects the most, Ladybug and Adrien, have shown her that it isn't the only way to live. Being accomplished and a good person at the same time is possible. She can be an extraordinary person while doing what's right. She doesn't have to be the bad guy. But Chloe being mean, manipulative, and pretty awful is as natural as breathing to her at this point. She has been rewarded for her bad behavior more than her good deeds. This has been most obvious in Season 3, especially in the episode Miracle Queen, where Chloe has been waiting and waiting for Ladybug to give her the chance to help her. But Ladybug wants to protect Chloe, since everyone knows she's Queen Bee, and yet she doesn't explain this to Chloe properly, even though she is aware of what she's like and what she's been through. So Chloe gets tired of waiting, tired of being rejected by people she looks up to, and being left behind. So she gives in to Hawkmoth's temptation, out of anger, maybe even desperation for validation, and has a huge role in beating the heroes, ending with Master Fu's downfall and memory loss. Chloe has lost all respect for Ladybug at this point, as the heroine she once looked up to tells her she will never be given the chance to become Queen Bee ever again, and this really stings her. Ladybug, as I've discussed earlier, was her idol and someone she looked up to. There is nothing more crushing than not gaining the approval of someone you deeply respect and look up to. It makes you feel inadequate, that there's something wrong with you. I believe this is what her mother made her feel like whenever she insulted her own daughter. So she hates it when other people make her feel the same way, make her feel unpleasant or embarrassed at herself. Think when Ladybug saved her, and when Adrien considered her his friend. She felt less pathetic in a way, and that she was actually worth something to the people she cared about. So, is Chloe a villain or an anti-hero? As of this point in the end of Season 3 and the beginning of Season 4, she is definitely a villain. Kind of a sympathetic one, but a villain nonetheless. But since she's like the tetragonist of the series in a way, I think she'll be redeemed because I can't think of anyone else taking the Be Miraculous in the future Miraculous Hero team, unless they decide to add a new character, which is boring in my opinion because they already established that majority of Marinette's classmates will become future Miraculous holders. Also, it's kinda egregious that they're gonna add more characters and not develop the ones they already introduced. Like, come on, man. The only new characters I expect are the original Miraculous Guardians, and I highly doubt they're going to be immediate allies considering what Master Fu has done. Also, having an anti-hero team member is always pretty fun and breaks the monotony of all heroes being on the same moral page, and they can also give insight, you know? And that wraps up this video essay. While researching, I saw beta art with Chloe in it, and it's obvious she's gonna remain important and on the Miraculous holder side, since it's shown Marinette, Alia, and Chloe as a trio hanging out. On a writing standpoint, they're each other's foils in a way. But hark! There's a third! I don't know why I said it like that, but oh hi Lila Rossi, you're pretty much next on the list of characters I'm going to dissect. Definitely gonna summarize Marinette and Adrien's current developments too, but I'm going to make it once we get an official release date of Season 4 or the movie, whichever comes first, because I am positive it's going to be delayed somehow due to current world events. That tentative fall 2020 release may turn into an early 2021 release, and I don't know about the movie. It's been announced in like 2018 earlier. I don't know. It's been in development for a long time, but they did say that it was supposed to be released after the release of like Season 5, so definitely kind of like the end of the first Hawkmoth era kind of movie. I kind of want to do this video, but I'm not sure if you guys be interested in me dissecting the romance. I'm not gonna pick any sides, I'm just gonna dissect which relationship would work out the best between Marinette, Adrien, Kagami, and Luca. I'm kind of scared to make a video because God, ship wars are the worst. The worst! They have ruined many fandoms, but it's also so fun to see the chaos. Also, what other cartoons should I cover? I'm definitely down to binge some cartoon series that I haven't seen in a while, so let me know what series I should overthink about. I've been taking too long to end this outro. Be sure to like this video if you do, subscribe if you haven't, and ring the notification bell.